say, and I think that's a fair statement to make, but R7 in terms of organizational representation, they've been to internationals before. BLG, this is their first time ever as an organization. But straight off of the bat, we've got a Draven ban pulled on in, and that's not surprising when you see Seo on the other side.
Yeah, I'm curious to see exactly what the bans are going to be against BLG though, because we saw the Nidalee come out yesterday. We know Shun is a big Kindred player, a lot of respect given to his Kindred over in the LPL. The Nidalee as well has always been something that he's had in his wheelhouse, so I'm curious to see if we do get these more carry-oriented junglers coming out for him.
We'll have to see where the jungle pool goes. I do just want to hit on that Draven ban once again. The R7 were responsible for all but one Draven bans in the entire year of the LLA so far. Seo draws Draven bans, it's as simple as that. But the Kindred taken away from Shun, like you said, the carry junglers, Nidalee still open, and we saw it yesterday. That Nautilus could be mid lane.
It's spreading much, it's spreading. I think Faker ended up playing it like immediately after the G2 game yesterday, solo queue as well. So here's Steve Yagao has it in the back pocket as well to put into the mid lane. Although, looks like it will be immediately as the Lucian Nami slammed in response to the Zyra Khan.
Yeah, they're saying you want a strong 2v2. Well, we've got one as well. Bit of fish fruit down to the bottom lane there from On and Elk. And R7 going to go for their jungler. By the looks of things, the Wukong fairly standard on the side of R7. To be honest, fairly standard on both sides, except for that Nautilus. He's definitely either going mid lane. We could see it jungle too. Apparently, whisperings are that Nautilus jungle could be a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was actually Movistar who played it. Yeah, Audi was actually the one who played it in the jungle, so kind of a bit of a pick away there from him as well, so maybe. But I think either way, the opportunity here to try and take something in towards the jungle that is that Nidalee, a bit more carry-orientated for Shun, going to be incredibly strong, but I was about to say, probably going to see stuff like that banned away here by R7.
R7 have done their homework. They know what's going on. I mean, they watched the games yesterday.
Yeah.
Probably is the better way of saying it, but Shun, an especially good Nidalee as well, so not just from the Nautilus combo, but also just taken away in general. Syndra taken out of the mid lane, though. I'm keeping my eyes open for if a Gragas comes on through, because Miru loves a Gragas mid lane.
Yeah, incredibly strong pick for him over in the LLA. The fact that he has 29 solo kills as well, he's fairly decent.
It's not bad.
Up a few of those kills, so we'll have to see he's going to be able to get his hands on that comfort pick. I think it would even work really well for them here. Clearly you're working with like self-peel here for the Xayah, but the rest of the composition wants to go in, wants to dive forward, so adding a Gragas into the mix of that makes a lot of sense. The big question mark for me though is, do they leave the counter pick for Bong? I think you kind of need to when you're going up against Bin. Just try to make sure you can have some sort of a decent matchup there.
Yeah, especially since both of these players have exceptionally low jungle proximity. Like, you anticipate that Bin versus Bong as a matchup is essentially going to be a cage match. It's that old school top lane island.
Especially since you haven't given the Jax ban over here, like Bin can still take that up. It's his most played throughout the split. He's been an absolute monster on it. You've even seen him bring out things like the Gwen as well, where he can be that carry performer. And there you go, Munch, the Gragas pick. Now it's a question of what do BLG want to respond with.
And the nice thing about that Gragas as well is it's a flex. It could go mid lane, it could be taken top by Bong as well. But it also, if it does go top, does well into Bin's Jax. That's kind of his signature up in that top lane.
We'll have to see exactly how they want to try and go for this. I'd be surprised if the Lee Sin pick is if this Nautilus is going mid. As we talked about, you kind of want a carry performer from the jungle to work in tow with that, but we'll have to see. It is actually going to be the Lee Sin, okay? I'm surprised. I did think that they were actually going to take something a bit more damage focused, like a Viego even, to see if they could try and get that carry jungler snowballing.
Yeah, I do have a bit of a concern about the lack of AP on the side of BLG. If you lock in the Cassante here for the top lane, you've got an AD jungle, and yes, you've got the Nautilus, but realistically, how much AP damage is Nautilus really bringing to the table?
I mean, this is a competition for BLG where you need to slam the win home early. Like, if you let this game go late, you just don't really have enough damage to follow through. And as you rightly pointed out, the lack of AP damage is going to be a big one. Bong even going to be able to take a really good matchup into the Cassante here if he goes for that Olaf, and I love it. I mean, just a go forward button for more 7 and trying to take that fight.
Yeah, definitely can go on forwards, charging for the fray, and I love that we're taking these aggressive matchups on the side of R7. They said it on the desk. R7 come from a region where fighting is everything, and they want to take it to BLG in game 1.
Yeah, I really hope that they're able to bring this one forward, especially the fact that you kind of end up with a little bit of the comfort coming through for Seo on the Xayah. You're also looking at that Rakan for Lions, which has been really good, an 80% win rate at 12.5 KDA. This has been huge, and even like for a lot of picks on BLG you haven't seen before, right? Yagao hasn't really played the Nautilus. The last time he played it was in 2020, a long time ago before we've seen this for him.
Yeah. And you have to question the change of styles from Yagao as well, because he has always been somewhat of a supportive mid laner, but in the finals against JDG, Yagao had a couple of pretty rough games towards the end of that series, playing on this Syndra, playing on these carries. Feels like they've definitely changed tacks coming into MSI.
Yeah, it definitely feels kind of similar story to, hey, look, we want to try and do what G2 did yesterday.
Yeah.
Play through that mid-jungle, lean into bot, look for several dives, and just make this incredibly uncomfortable for R7's bot lane.
See if they can. I feel like that bot lane is going to be where all eyes are focused, as we've got Xayah Rakan against Lucian Nami. It's always going to be a very hands-intensive bot lane, right? There's a lot of outplay potential in those two. But I mean, personally, storyline-wise, I'm looking up towards that top lane, right? Bin versus Bong, you just know it's going to be a banger.
I mean, our Mercedes-Benz featured matchup. We need to see if they can have the hands diff up there, or who can come out on top. I honestly feel like Bong got a decent matchup in the Olaf. Now he just has to prove it.
It's BLG's first ever time on the international stage. And for R7, this is redemption. This is their first time since 2020 Worlds. It's been a long time coming for both of these teams. And we've got to say it again. Our featured matchup up in that top lane, presented by Mercedes-Benz. It's BLG Bin versus R7 Bong. And you just know they're going to be going at it with that Olaf locked in for Bong.
I really want to see Bong getting control up here against Bin. K'Sante, obviously a very strong champion in the way they control the lane, but the fact you can just basically run this K'Sante down level 1, level 2 is exactly what Bong is looking for. Even his positioning here, you can see him very far forward in that top butch. He wants to try and catch the K'Sante as he initially comes into lane, but On might be caught here.
On stood on a ward, but has a ward of his own, so just going to get a slightly positive trade. Sayo not actually able to get in range himself, so I mean, it's only a minor bit of poke, but it's the mental game in that bottom lane.
It's the looking back and forth go, you what, mate? You what? What are you going to do?
They are in London after all.
Exactly. You got to make the most of it. But at the moment, Bong trying to get in onto this top side, just trying to see where Shun is starting. Doesn't quite spot the jungler, but will not even actually get a ward down to make sure they can see where Shun is going to start. So no real information going across just yet, apart from that ward that you can see for R7 on towards the Raptors.
Yeah, smart play by Shun there to start on his wolves, so he's not spotted out, so that information isn't given away. Yagao on the Nautilus, already trading heavily in the mid lane, but an all-in on the bottom side as well. Elk charging on forward, still level 1 on both sides. It's an ignite for a heal in the end.
That's really not a trade that you want to try and make here, as Lions and Sayo. As Elk stepping forward again. This is not the amount of bullying you should get.
He just lost his flash, and he's still going forwards for these trades, and Lions really feeling the brunt of it.
Yeah, massively. The thing is, level 3 is where Lucian Nami really start to come alive. R7 are supposed to be the ones that can control level 1, level 2, because as you go in with the W on the Rakan, you also pop W on the Xayah, you get the attack speed as the Rakan, and you can go for these heavily aggressive trades, but just not the case so far. And now, with those summoner spells burnt, I'll be curious to see exactly what the game plan is in that bot lane. I actually didn't spot that Elk had to flash in that though as well.
Speaking of the bot lane, Oddie moving over towards that quadrant of the map. And Shun in the vicinity. Oddie might actually go just towards those crooks to try and contest Shun himself. But it looks like he wants the lane. Dagda, he wants a gank here. Elk could be the target as Lions already very chunked out. Oddie going in, Elk no flash, but I don't think he's really worried about that one.
Can't go over aggressive because they know the Shun is probably on this bottom side. Level 3 versus the level 3 that was only just hit by Oddie as he started to come through there. So now Shun trying to see if he can get the invade.
Lions could be in big trouble here. Shun with a ward hop finds the Sonic Wave. It's on to Sayo, not Lions, and he's not going to follow it up for now, but look how low the R7 health bars are. Shun wants to put the pressure on, and here comes the cavalry as well. In they go, Shun in a 1v3 to start the fight, but everyone trying to escape. No! Yagao blocked by the hero minion.
Okay, look, it's a relatively new pick in the mid lane, Yagao. We'll give you one, but still, really nice job by BLG and a massive wave that's about to be lost towards Sayo. Look at the difference in the CS in that bot lane. 24-5 at the moment, plus the plays that have gone across. Elk is going to get a massive back here.
I mean, that is just filthy. 25-5 and so many minions going down to the tower. And the thing is, you've roamed on a Nautilus. It's not like Yagao's missing out massively in the mid lane. You don't really need the CS in the same way for a tank.
You can see again, he's managed to get back here, keep the CS even. Shun now going to move up towards this crab on the top side to try and deny this one from Oddie as well. So Oddie very far behind when it comes towards the jungle. Because he only did those 2 camps in the bot gang, he actually wasn't really able to keep up the pace with Shun. So nice start here already for BLG.
I want to talk a little bit about Oddie if we can, as
you're not going to
put a bit of pressure. Yeah, I'm just looking at Yagao moving in towards him. He's just going to clear vision for now. Doesn't have Shun with him. But Oddie, he's been on R7 for a long old time. When you think about how this roster functions, it really is Oddie that is kind of the leadership in this squad. He's the veteran that everyone else can look to for advice. And now making it back to the international stage once again. It feels good to see him sat there on the stage here in London.
And a lot of that has been, hey, we're going to try and get this control over mid, get this control on bot, make sure we're keeping Seo lines in a good spot, and then we can actually use Miru, who's been able to get a lot of control in the LLA in that mid lane as that late game damage dealer, but not really working out for them so far with the early plays BLG have managed to make down towards that bot lane. And Yago as well, kind of keeping Miru in check here, as you can see.
I didn't realize Nautilus could put this kind of lane pressure out. As Miru gets a little bonus trade on the backside of it, but Yagao certainly looking good in this matchup. And I guess it makes sense when you think about how Gragas functions. It's all about sustain and being able to just be the beefy bruiser. Well, when you're against a beefier bruiser, maybe that plan doesn't work out.
Also, just Emax damage is so high. It's really difficult to trade as well because the aftershock. So any of these aggressive trades that you're trying to make just don't really work out. So it's such a nice matchup, and why we're going to probably start to see it a little bit more as we move across the rest of MSI. Oddie, though, back on this bot side as this wave is starting to crash, but Seo's been forced to reset once more. A 20 nearly CS lead now opening up the bot lane.
Yeah, and you know, we saw the 20 CS lead build up off of that initial force away the 4-man play towards the bottom side, denying a lot of CS there from Seo. It's the fact that Elk and On have managed to maintain that CS lead. Quite often you see that early on, and then it sort of normalizes again. We're not seeing that right now. There is no normalization.
They do need to start turning this in towards objectives and stuff, though. Like, look towards dragons, like, look towards the Rift Tower that's going to spawn in just in a minute and a half's time. Like, actually start to pick up some things off the pressure you're getting for Yagao and Elk. Because, yes, the CS lead is nice, but you're kind of needing to convert these into bigger wins, just in case we start to hit that later portion of the game where the lack of AP damage or even a lot of damage coming from the top side is going to come back to bite them.
Well, Shun was in the area, but spotted on a control ward that will be cleared. And you can see the value of this Nautilus as well, and just the sheer wave clear that Yagao has. Just push and move, reminiscent of what Do and Bree brought to the table, to the international stage back in 2019. Kind of poetic yesterday that we saw G2 being the ones to bring the Nautilus mid after what Nautilus mid did to them in the finals. Elk taking a heavy chunk there, but it's Seo that keeps on getting the worst of these trades.
Shun, though, still on Dragon. You can see Oddie starting to move over. They want to maybe look to contest this, but you don't really have the control on bot side or even the control in mid, so Shun just going to start to heal up. Maybe a little bit nervous as he knows that Oddie's coming into the area. Yagao's here to protect, though.
I don't blame him for being a bit nervous. First game on the stage here, first game internationally for Shun as well. As Yagao trying to just body block, trying to be that bouncer, deny entry from two players, and does it successfully. The Shun may look for the blue buff instead, and invade will do.
I think if Shun gets this as well, he'll hit level 6. I think Oddie's a little bit behind in terms of the experience, so that's why BLG trying to use that boss pressure to lean across towards this, and Shun just being a nuisance. If you can deny Oddie the blue buff here, you should be able to deny him access to that level 6 before the Rift House spawns, so nice job. And even just, again, 3 plates already gone on the bot side thanks to this pressure.
Yeah, almost a fourth, honestly, at this point. Shun, like you say, using that pressure to put pressure elsewhere on the map. Oddie's moving over, Miru here as well, but Shun just throws up the thumbs up. The vision control, the deep vision that keeps on coming out from BLG has been so good. That ward being just out of range of the control ward, buying Shun so much information.
Yeah, the fact though is that Shun is still wasting a good bit of time. Like, Oddie did get his wolves as this is all going on. You're getting the pressure on bot side now as Elk looking for the all-in. BLG want to go for the dive.
Yeah, happy to take tower shots for that play as Yagao moves forward. Oh, the bubble is beautiful, and that is just gorgeous play from BLG. Oddie arrives, but it's too little too late.
Perfect timing as well. This was the wave where R7's bot lane were probably going to hit level 6. The fact that they'd managed to just about deny it, get the kills, get on out, with Shun having the ultimate available for himself. Great timing by BLG.
And Miru, yes, building up a bit of a CS lead, will get himself 2 plates in the mid lane. So at least a silver lining on the side of R7. We'll get something for themselves, but 2,000 gold lead now in favor of BLG.
And if there's anyone on this roster you want to try and get some gold into it, it'll be Miru. He has been the late game carry, and he needs to carry this game when things are going this way for the bot side. Really good job here. Great bubble coming through from On even tanking up the turret. Knows there's no one who can really deal much damage to him on the backside, and even just the early heal coming through from On to make sure that he can tank up all that damage.
I mean, the fact that they get away with that without Yagao even tanking, like, you look at that play, you expect it to be the Nautilus tanking the tower, but Yagao only taking one shot right at the very end. As we are beyond the 8-minute mark and Shun starting to hover towards that top side where the Herald is up. Now get a 2v1 at the bottom side, but he doesn't seem to mind. Miru could be in trouble. Shun not going to pull the trigger for now.
Yeah, you need to find some way for R7 to get these wins on the map. Bong, even in the counter matchup, hasn't really created that much of a lead for himself. You can see there's actually a CS lead for Bin. Now they're trying to use that push and top side they had to start up Rift Herald. But you can see where BLG are. They're not really in a position to follow up on this. But with BLG spotting R7, starting the Rift Herald, it may be time for another dive in the bot lane, and Shun is already moving in.
Yeah, I mean, Sayo just cannot catch a break. The CS lead is absurd. The amount of plates Elk is getting
level 5.
is absurd. And now Shun wants to go for another dive. Kicked into the wave. And my goodness, this is a tidal wave of pressure to the bottom side.
This isn't even fair. The man is still level 5. He doesn't have the ult available. Yes, he has the flash, but kick into the wave. You're CC'd for days. There's no hope of you surviving that. Really nice stuff from BLG, but heartbreaking for the LLA representative.
I mean, before 11 minutes, they've taken the bot lane tower. This is brutal. Bin and Bong in a 1v1, and it's Gigabin in the top side to find his solo kill.
Bin finding the advantage in the counter matchup as well. This was the matchup to keep our eyes on. We're hoping Bong might have been able to get some advantages, but it is not going to be the case. Shun now, just spot audience line starting to move over here, on the way, trying to contest this dragon. I don't know if you want to take this R7.
I feel like we started off with a fairly slow kickoff to this game, but BLG have started to turn it on, right? Kills in the bottom side, a 1v1 from Bin in the top lane as well, who, we've been talking about bot lane plays, Bin's almost taken 4 by himself.
It's a bit of a diffy bunch, I'm not gonna lie. This game could definitely be going better for R7, but of course, like, it is BLG, the second seed coming through from one of the top regions of the world. Like, the LLA knew that they were up against a absolute giant in this one, and at the moment, BLG living up to their namesake.
And I think it's worth mentioning in that top lane that this is what Bin does. It's not necessarily that Bin is going to get a million solo kills every single game. He does get one. Let's take a look at the replay first. I'll return to the stats.
Look, sometimes the stats don't tell the full story, but really nice stuff for Bin here. You can see just playing around the fact that he gets away from the axe on the opposite side, so a lot of that damage coming through from Bong is taken off the board, and then able to turn it around, and Bong, he knows.
He's got a good sense of humor about it, apparently, because realizing that he's made a mistake. Crucially there, Bin playing off of the power spike of having that Thornmail, really reducing the sustain that Olaf's bringing to the table. But I want to talk quickly about Bin's laning if I can. CSD at 15, 8.1 on average. That's second in the league. His gold difference at 15, second in the league. His XP difference at 15, first in the league. This is a guy that will take an advantage in that top lane, and he will run away with things. He will never let them back in.
And that's why it's so exciting to see him back at the international events. Like, every time we seem to get him with this, there's some massive play that he makes that absolutely pops off. We got the Gangplank against G2. The first ever pentakill in a World Finals was by Bin as well, and even the Cassante, what is supposed to be a bit of a tank hybrid, showing up big here against R7. Starting to move around the map though, looking at the mid lane. We've already got the Lucian here, looking at Shun just trying to play off on the side, seeing if they can use the fact that you've got a very fed Lucian Ami with those first times complete to put the hurt down.
The damage onto Sayo there. Elk knows how to put the pressure down. We talk about the mythic spike, right, for Lucian Army. Well, they're feeling mythic today, that's for sure. Bin could be in trouble as Bong getting the damage out, but he's not quite. Oh, he turns it around! Bong rips him apart!
The axe has come down at the perfect moment, but it may not be done yet. Adi needed to be here for Shun, waiting over the wall. Damage has been healed up.
Irons does get knocked up. Sayo taking a chunk as well from Elk. And Imperial Mandate. And I feel like they're just playing at arm's length. They're not necessarily committing to these all-ins. They're just making sure that Sayo can never step up to the weight.
And that's all they need to do. The fact that you have this Xayah who's in a really dire spot now. Ani trying to move down to the bot lane and kind of all in onto the Gragas, see if he can get Miro ahead with the Rift Tower that's about to time out. No one on BLG is here, which is why we're getting the quick TP coming through from Bin. And even looking at Yagao in this top side. But that does leave Elk in this mid to get a ton of poke damage off. And you just can't step up with this Xayah at all.
Almost 2,000 gold from plays as Elk. Oh my days! What is that damage onto Lions? And the flash burn as well. I mean, if Elk wasn't strong enough already, a bonus kill chucked in there. See the goal difference pretty heavily in favor of Elk right now.
Yeah, that's a bit of a struggle there. Really nice play from Elk though, and again, this is why you play the Lucian Nami, try and put them into the mid lane. They are so incredibly strong when they hit both mythics, and with BLG getting them so early, they've been able to punish so incredibly effectively, and even getting a ton of those plates in the mid lane as well. Like, you can see it there, 2.5k gold.
Yeah.
Nearly a second item already at 14 minutes, well, 15 minutes for Elk.
Well, Audi just about gets away with his life there. Bin saw him, and you can see that killer instinct. He just sees red as soon as that monkey's on his screen.
Oh, Miru in a lot of trouble. Shun hovering off the side here. Audi is waiting in the wings though.
Yeah, I don't think they can pull the trigger on a play here. Shun doesn't actually have that much damage. Has the Gore Drinker, but realistically not the biggest damage item. Will get a bunch of crooks off the back of the play. Has to jump away to his control ward. Surprised he used a control ward there. He actually had a normal ward available.
Yeah, just trying to make his way out. 4-7 though, investing a lot onto this top side to make sure they're fine. Interesting to see even just that they're playing off of the two waves here as well as Bin going into the bot side.
Oh, here we go, 1v1 once again. Bin versus bot. He's gone. He flies over the wall. And obviously the Ragnarok denies it, and there's a pick in the jungle onto Shun as well. R7 finding their moment. Oh, Audi, wait, the culling. Oh my days, Lions managing to block it in the meantime. Bin could be in trouble, but Yagao moving over. Miru's here. It's a 2v2 between the solo laners, but Bin nowhere near the play right now. Yagao's alone. He doesn't have that much damage to work with. It's 2 tanks, and this Olaf will shred them. Yagao in trouble.
Wait a sec.
Knock-up is there. Bin gets the churn on through the health bars. Bomb goes down. Miru next on the chopping block, and BLG with a straight-up hand stiff.
That is not allowed! How did they go in with about a quarter of their health and manage to turn that one around? The amount of healing that was coming through the shielding and everything, they just couldn't do anything.
I thought that Bong was going to go crazy on the Olaf there against 2 tanks, but just thrown about. His Ragnarok was on cooldown. He couldn't fight the way that he wanted to. Just phenomenal play, as you expect from Bin and Yagao.
Really good stuff, and the fact that you managed to turn that now means the Shun moves down, get the second dragon here for BLG. They've shoved in that wave, so they get nice resets. May not be able to get up in time towards this Rift Tower, but I think if Shun immediately roams across, they might be able to, but we're just going to catch this on the replay here. This is the invade coming in onto top side. The Shun comes across. I'm not sure.
This is a bold invade.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is not exactly where you want to be, Shun. The fact they managed to pick him off is just kind of a little bit overconfident, I will say. And then Audi trying to see if he can get the culling down to try and turn around, but it's not quite enough.
Yeah, then obviously the 2v2 in the bottom side, exceptionally close, and it looks fantastic. Oh, hang on, we're going back to live because Miru's already gone down. Audi next on the chopping block. The tidal wave is perfect once again, and Seo, you're going nowhere on this one. Elk with the chase down. Bong next. Look at the damage out from Elk. That is obscene.
That was absolutely disgusting, and now BLG, they just get to push in mid. There's absolutely no way that R7 can try and fight back against this, and once more, Rift Tower is going to be started up by Shun, so now instead of looking for tier 2s a lot of the times with this Rift Tower, they can maybe crack up the base. Wait, what?
He's CC immune, he's going for the 1v3 play, but I'm not sure he's got the damage to pull that one off. Elk finishes the job. In fact, Yagao getting the kill hit. Yagao's got 4 kills on Nautilus, by the way.
What a lad. I am loving the fact that we're getting to see this Nautilus more and more. Even though we don't have the regular setup that we expect, it's still looking great.
I just want to mention Bin in the interview before this game saying, you know, this tournament, I've got to come in and I've got to be the carry. Last time I got carried by my team, this time I'm carrying my team. Well, not today, Bin, because look at Yagao right now.
Yeah, I mean, picking up the double kill bot, one more for himself, 10 stacks on the Dark Seal as well. So Nautilus actually churning out a good chunk of damage, and now with the Rift out in tow, you can just keep so much pressure for 7. Bin on the bot side, can he 1v2? We already had the 2v2 at play, but I don't know, Miru doesn't quite have the Service Embrace completed, but no magic resistance to Bin. I don't know if you fully want to take this fight.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it would depend on how good the all-out is, but it doesn't look like Miru is going to step into a position where that's really an option for Bin. And you can see heavy focus towards the top side now for BLG. Everybody moving over there. Bin with the teleport available, and out goes Seo once again. The culling just shredding R7's bot lane. Nearly gets to tier 2 in the mid lane off the back of it.
It's just the immediate, I'm sorry, I'm just going to back away from here. Yeah. You can have the tower, you can have whatever you want, just leave me alone. And now with that, well, you already won mid, so you just get to push in top. Bong is on his own because Lion's already invested onto that bottom side to try and help out the push from Miru. So there's not a huge amount you can do. At least having the Ravenous Hydra now completed means he's gets a decent amount of wave clear, but it's still BLG controlling the map.
So the mid tier 2 taken, and now you see Elk and On move up to his top side. Herald in play, and this should be a top tier 2 as well. But Elk not staying to commit. He's going to go for the mid wave instead. Not even needed, because the rest of BLG will deal with the tower. And this is just top side domination from BLG as Baron spawns onto the map.
And at this stage, it's kind of everything the BLG want. You got a 11,000 gold lead. Or 7 trying to move in, but I don't know if they want to try and take this fight. BLG considering it, but they've been on the bot side. They don't want to invest that TP, and what they will just back away.
I feel like it's worth mentioning, because we've not talked about the actual gold difference right now. It's 10,000 in favor of BLG at the 20-minute mark. That's 500 gold a minute that they're building up for themselves ahead of R7. Couple of wards drop down in the Baron area as resets come on through.
I think it was only supposed to be one ward. Those dropped down in that Baron area. I think one went a bit short, but
yeah. I wasn't going to say it. I wasn't going to call him out like that.
You know, I like, salt, wound, it's all good.
Yeah, tough one so far for R7, it has to be said. But hey, what a debut for BLG. Remember, this is their first game internationally ever as an organization. And we keep talking about Bin returning to MSI to try and defend his trophy. He won MSI on RNG last year, but he's not the only one, because the coach as well, Tabe, joined this team halfway through the split and kind of turned the fortunes around for BLG, it has to be said, managing to make it all the way to finals, managing to make it to MSI. He was the coach on RNG last year. He was the coach alongside Bin that took that trophy.
Now let's see what BLG can try and achieve coming into MSI, second seed for the LPL. I mean, R7 trying their damnedest here. One of the organizations with a very storied history with 14 championships to their name. But at the moment, looks like BLG is just a step a bit too far for them. I have to see as Miru going to be jumped on.
Well, Elk certainly has the damage to finish this one off, and Yagao flashes for the hook. Lions in a little too late. To demolish Proc. Actually, BLG backing away, not wanting to tank the tower, waiting for that minion wave to finish the job as Bong just gets a chunk taken out of him. And I feel like Elk has always been an aggressive AD carry. He's giving us a case study on how to play Lucian Nami in this game.
I mean, it's just nice to see that Elk has kind of roped himself in a little bit, kind of kept it a little bit easier.
Yeah. This is the roped in bit.
Yeah, I know.
This is tuned down.
Because back in the day, this was not the case, but yeah, the Lucian Nami popping the hell off, 505. I mean, 2 full items nearly ahead of his counterpart. They absolutely destroyed the bot lane with the help from Yagao and Shun. And showing that even with a composition that we said, hey, needs to get ahead in the early game, wants to make sure they close this game out quickly, they are putting their foot down in this.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to worry too much about damage types when you are, 12,000 gold ahead.
Yeah.
It's,
if the enemy kind of forward armor, it makes it a little bit more difficult.
Smart. Well, Baron next on the chopping block here, as On goes over to clear away some vision. BLG, a team that not necessarily known for, like we were talking yesterday about... Okay, I'll just go for a ride. We were talking yesterday about PSG and their really immaculate Baron control. BLG are willing to scrap for that Baron control. They don't necessarily need complete vision dominance. They're happy to use that Baron to start a fight.
Looks like that's exactly what they're going to do now. This Baron will not go down particularly quickly with the composition that they have, but they also will lose a huge amount of health trying to take this Baron as well. You can see the blistering pace that health bar is going down at.
Oh, Tidal Wave comes across the enemy team as Yagao moves forward. Seo's there. Elk just shredding Bong right now. Featherstorm already comes on through, but Shun's gone too deep. Perhaps a chance for R7 as they find a pick onto the jungler, but they're answered with their own. And a hook from Yagao sets up for the double. And Elk making R7 look like a deer in headlights. Yagao with another as Bong has given up on the situation.
Triple kill comes through for Elk. Miru is the only one to escape, and BLG will return immediately back towards the big purple worm. Again, the ability to just start off these fights and turn over everyone apart from Bin has a way to get over the wall, and even he's willing to invest a splash to make that happen. So BLG just able to make the play work.
I think it's fair to say that right now, Billy are gaming. They are absolutely game. 8-0-6 on Elk. 5-0-7 on Yagao. And we talked about, I said in Champ Select foolishly that this Nautilus pick is not a carry pick, that it's not going to be doing that much damage. I mean, he's got 10 stacks on a Dark Seal that's just been turned into a Magi's.
I mean, I love the confidence from Yagel, but you can see here, I thought it was a bit of an early wave coming through from On, because it didn't really see with the Fog of War on that Yagel was coming through, but immediately they got the follow-up there, and even though they lose shut at the start of this, the damage from Elk is insane. Like, watch him just pop Audie's health bar here. 1-2 shots, third final come through, and then they're just able to chase these down with the Gale Force. And even Bin, I'm not sure what happened to Bong here. I don't know if he was trying to wait for Seo to get back. It was like, oh, I can blast cone into the base. He was trying to maybe. I think he was trying to style it a little bit, accidentally hit Bin, and was like, I've made a terrible decision here.
That hook from Yagao as well is like pixel perfect for the timing of that blast cone. Denies the escape. Bong ends up going down, and now BLG. I mean, we saw the pressure they were putting on without a Baron. You can believe that they'll take a few towers here. 2 minutes to work with on their Red Bull Baron power play. I mean, I have no concerns that they can take at least one inhib tower here. But I'm looking towards R7. I'm looking towards that miracle fight. They got to pick on Shun in the previous one.
Man, I don't know if a miracle fight's even going to happen. I'm not funny there, but maybe here.
Almost a pick onto Elk, but it's Oddie to go down instead as the culling comes on through. And it will be R7 that are called. Bin comes out on the backside, Miro kicked into the team. Does find Elk, but the healing is there and keeps himself alive. Bin zoning the squad. As Bong now chasing down Elk. Elk just like looking for the next contender as he takes them down one by one. His whole squad just bounces and he's chilling in the club. It's 2 Nexus Towers going down. It's a 26-minute victory for BLG and a dominant entrance to MSI.
A welcome to BLG to the international stage. They're looking damn clean as they pick up game 1.
Absolutely magnificent stuff there. See Elk very happy with that win. It's a 1-0 start. R7 not out of the picture just yet. It's best of 3, so they've got a little bit of time to work on this one. They can go back to the drawing board. And we saw in the interview, they were coming in saying, look, we are the underdogs. We're expecting this to be a hard one. You see the BLG players actually stretching out after that one. Yeah. That's just a wake-up for them.
I mean, look, let's be realistic for R7. You're playing against BLG, who second place in the LPL, but pushed JDG the distance the entire way through. And coming in from one of the high representatives of the LPL, you always expect them to be a very, very difficult organization. So it's not unfair to say that BLG are fairly highly favored.
Yeah, honestly, it's kind of funny watching like BLG just looking completely chill in the current situation. We're like, you know, second day of MSI, it's their international debut. To BLG, it's just another Wednesday.
Yeah, they heard Goldberg actually. They heard him saying they were rechecks, and they were like, excuse you? What did you call us? Because I was like, I did think, like BLG, although they are like a bunch of players that have come together that I don't think a lot of people had faith in, it's been incredible to see how they work together, right? Yagao kind of providing that rock in the mid lane that Shun can play off, that can lean into that bot side, letting Elk and On do their thing, and then obviously Bin he's such a monster, man. This guy's insane.
I mean, like Bin, Elk, On, all players from 2020, On, Suning, On WE, 2 of the teams that I absolutely loved. So it feels so good to see them joining forces years later and having international success. Bin, you know, we've seen him have international success. The first ever Worlds pentakill on a Fiora. Fiora's not even meant to team fight, and he manages to get a pentakill with it. He's certainly a powerful player. That's going to be it from